yes, you have to respect Dana 100%. He is a wolf in the game, and he's the top dog, and you only get there one way, and that's by being him. He's beat out every other company and all the other competition, and he's made the sport what it is in the short amount of time of what it is. He's a great promoter. I think he kicks the shit out of guys like Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya. These guys are doing boxing very poorly comparatively to him. I think he's done a great job marketing the sport, growing it internationally in different markets. And like, look at this Abu Dhabi's where he's doing the fights. He's got the government giving him nine figures, and because of Khabib though, but giving him 9 figures to do these fights, and forget about it, right?
Yeah.
So he's great for the sport, getting us on ESPN and all that. That helps everybody, bar none, top to bottom. But aside from that, he also gives 15 to 20% of revenue to the fighters. And Vince McMahon of the WWE gives 8%. And these are the only 2 guys that treat fighters without the Ali Act that boxing has outside of that as independent contractors. And we don't have the protections boxing has. There's no association. There's no Ali Act protecting us. There's a group of athletes that have gotten together to try to get us that. And there's it will most likely happen under a Biden administration. That is the reason Dana and the UFC was invested heavily into Trump, because he vetoed their bill already. Trump did. And it was unprecedented. That's never happened on a union bill before. The Philadelphia chapter filed, and the Washington chapter took it over, and Trump squashed it. That's never happened in the history of these anti-union movements and labor movements in America. That's why he was in all the speeches, and they were invested in all that stuff. So now Biden's taken over. He has a guy named Andrew Yang in his cabinet, or soon to be cabinet is what they're saying. And he has said, I grew up watching wrestling and I love MMA. I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to get them to be able to unionize. And every other sport has 50-50 split owners and athletes and that type of thing. And I want to make it better for both of these athletes and get away with this independent contractor stuff, because then they don't give us health and dental and a pension and none of that. There's no protections. Whereas they tell you when to fight, what to wear to the fights. You're not allowed any sponsors in the cage, and there's no, they're treating you like employees, when to show up, where to show up, how to show up, but they're not giving you the benefits of an employee. So that will change. That's my opinion. There's another group. So there's 2 groups. That's one group trying to get us the unionization. There's another group trying to get us in the Ali Act. And they had a big win recently, about 2 weeks ago. So the UFC's defense successfully got the case heard in Nevada. These guys won there, and they got a class action lawsuit filed. And the judge gave the okay that yes, this is a class action suit worth $5 billion for the athletes. And it's allowed to proceed as a class action now. He didn't squash it. So they've got that certification. And these guys want back pay, and they want to be under the Ali Act. So let's see. They got a fight on their hands.
That's a great answer, very in depth. So I guess my only question would be: so UFC gives 20%. What do places like ONE and kind of the other top ones, PFL? What do they give? Are they giving 50%?
So the reason the UFC gives that is because they believe the 3 letters of the U and the F and the C is worth more than the person. Whereas these other companies that are establishing themselves that aren't a UFC have to give more because they have to get those athletes.
They attract them.
Exactly. Yeah. So, for me, I'll tell you right now, say the offer the UFC gave me was based on their 20-80 split. The offer I got from ONE was significantly higher than any type of 20-80, even 50-50, any of that. So they're paying me. I'll put it this way. Mighty Mouse Johnson, Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah.
He fought for, you guys know him, one of the all-time greats, fought for the UFC, everything. His last fight in the UFC was something like, after like 8-9 title defenses, being one of the all-time greats, was something like 120 to show, 120 to win, something like that. You know what he gets from ONE?
$500,000.
1.5 million, and he's got a stake in the company.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's significantly better.
So, but they're trying to make their mark and all of that.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is, right? Yeah. Does everyone get that kind of bump? No. He is a GOAT. He's an all-timer. But there's another guy that came over. His name's Eddie Alvarez. You guys know who he is. He fought Conor and all that kind of stuff out of Philly. He's been everywhere. So I talked to him before I even signed and that type of stuff. And he didn't give me exact figures, but he's like, look, he goes, I had this offer. I had a meeting with Dana, and Dana's like, look, I'm happy for you. He was like, we parted on good terms, but he's like, I cannot pay you that, because if I pay you that, then everybody's gonna be knocking on my door looking for that kind of money. Right. And he says, I can't pay everyone that. So you are worth that much to that company. You'll be their guy. But if I do that to you, not everyone is. I can't do that. I can't open my checkbook like that. So he parted ways, and he told me he's got an NFL type contract, that type of money. So, you know, you're gonna go there again. If I'm being valued for the Indian market, and so I'm gonna get a push from the company as well. Like, what else am I looking for? Give me that gold, give me that money, and let's get going. You know.
So all in all, so it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you know, at the end of the day, it's still not really Dana's kind of responsibility to have the fighters unionized. That's correct, right?
Oh, that would be anti-Dana. Come on now. You're taking money, like you said, you're a business owner, you respect that, and you have to but as an athlete, you know what I mean? You're on the other side of the ball, right? You're sure. Labor now. Yeah, that's a classic case, right? But like I said, you got to respect that. He's doing what he is. He got us to a certain platform, but there is a reason MMA fighters are wanted to box. Mm-hmm. That's where the money's at.
I knew Arjan was pretty smart, but I didn't realize he was as cerebral as he is, man. Holy smokes, Arjan. The way you pick out the politics and everything, you know a little bit about everything, man.
I have to. This is my life. It's not only it's my business. It's my life. Yeah. It's my everything. I don't. You
got to take care of your family, my friend.
No one's gonna take care of my ass better than me. So I have to stay in the loop and educated and
take care of that brain.
I got. Thank you. I got great management. I got to give a shout out to them too. Funny story how the world works. So I got the same agents as George, right? Same guys that manage him. So it kind of comes full circle. They're a great company. But before anybody else, I've always been taught you watch your own ass. And so that's why I try to stay educated on this stuff and as hands-on as possible. But yeah, that's sort of that.